Hello, boys and girls. I'm Willow. Welcome back again. Um, I just love doing that little transition. It's funny. So again, today we are going to be talking about all things HI-5 again. But in this video, I'm only going to talk about the activity books. The original activity books actually. From Action Heroes to Funny Money. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm just sharing my perspectives, exactly celebrating 20 years since 2006 of the older activity books. And now, in 2026, the fan-made ones are out now. So that is so exciting, actually. Like, wow. It is very, very exciting. Okay, now let's just pop onto this video. Let's just jump right into talking about the activity books. So yeah, the first one we're gonna talk about is Action Heroes. Pretty interesting, right? So this was their first activity book, and bit of a pity that this was the only HI-5 activity book from Series 7. But that's okay. It is still a very good start to it. I love it. Okay, so obviously HI-5 Together is their own way of calling it the theme song we got, or like always. So they've done this in each activity book, and then we get 3 songlets each basically, 1 song to the weeks and a story. So HI-5 Together was first, and Action Hero, Space Journey, which was in Making Music album, Superhero was Jump and Jive, Space Friends is From His Party, I think. Yep. And the sharing stories that we got was Superhero. Now, I am gonna start talking about what actually happened in the story. Okay? Okay, so I just want to share my perspective, and I just want to talk about the superhero sharing stories off from the first one. So there wasn't much change to the story, which was good though, because I wanted the exact same adaptation from the series, from the show. But the outfits weren't too much alike the adaptation that I wanted, unfortunately. Which was a bit of a shame, because I think they just did it for the book series. Don't know why though, but yeah, very interesting though actually. So their costumes were nothing like they were interpreted like the series. Just saying. And I'll show you the illustrations. People can ask. People now they're gonna keep asking me where I got these from and the pictures. I'm not allowed to say who I got them from, because then everyone would want to look into the archive. If anyone's got a Discord server, I'll just send it from there. But I can't say who I got them from, okay? But they apparently, credits also to them on Instagram. They also have an Instagram, and they also have. He's also got his own website, and people might already know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm still not gonna say who. But yeah. Okay. So let's just get started talking about Superhero. So Charlie again, she reads the story just like in the series, which was really good. Just like in the show. But with more, obviously more dialogue over the story. So this was like running 7 minutes. Okay, so now, it's a good thing that there wasn't much change into the story, but the costumes were a thing. They had to change the costumes. Why did they have to change the costumes? Anyway, these are all their illustrations from Activity Book 1. Like, that's crazy. Now, I know it's going to be like, oh, they're black and white. Well, you know what? That's how it is. You can just print it out, or you can get an art app and then just color it in, or something, I don't know. So this was what their costumes looked like. So we got Captain Zoom, Super Spy, and then Very Fabulous. Basically, yeah, their costumes are nothing like the series. Nothing like the series. I just didn't like how they could just completely change the illustrations just from starting from scratch. Like they didn't need to do that, you know. But they still done it anyway. They still did. So let's talk about for Kelly's character first. They gave her the initials of for Captain Zoom. So oh my gosh, guys, sorry. For C and Z. C. Yeah, and they gave her so much lightning bolts to her character, but it was nothing like the series, what she looked like. So instead of them just dressing up as superheroes, they actually already are superheroes, given the perspective already. Like, that is a big change. Not a big change to the story, but it's still a big change to the concept. I don't know, like... Anyway, this is what her costume looks like. Oops. Yeah, so that's also what Jaya looks like. He's a super fixer. Afterwards and then up to the end of the story, I didn't like how they excluded him, like not being like a superhero, but at least they did get the adaptation just like in the show, so that's the thing. So yeah. Yeah, like very interesting. Okay, this is what Callie's one looks like. So, as you can see, she is worrying about her jetpack. But this looks so different. Like, she didn't get to wear any orange or yellow or like blue. She didn't get to get any of these colors like worn into the sharing story. She just wore like casual pink top and then just a dress. But here, she looks just like a superhero. Blue tight long sleeve with blue and yellow gloves. An orange, I don't know, I can say crown. And then they gave her the jetpack, which also didn't look like the series. That is crazy. The jetpack that we saw in the series was just some other jetpack that we got. And I know it looked boring, but it looked now... But now, as we look here, it looks nothing like the series. Like, that is crazy. That's a big change. They just change things, like, out of nowhere, so that it can be produced for kids. You know? And her shoes, I don't know if they're meant to be like boots, but they are apparently. So yeah. Let's just look through her initials. I still can't believe that they changed her, like her illustration, but not just her. Very Fabulous, to me, wasn't much of a change. She almost kind of looks like the series, which is a good thing. As you can see, her wand is broken just like the series, and then Jai tries to fix it for her. But her tiara doesn't look nothing like the series, though. Bit of a shame, though. Her shoes, they're not meant to be white. This was just kind of worked. And credits to the studio. Studio Bodice. Pretty interesting, right? So, they gave her vines here. They didn't give her vines in the show. They just completely put vines of her here. Like they gave her kind of like a poison ivy concept. So they gave her leaves and vines all over her arms and legs. Okay. That's really interesting. I love the illustrations, but I just don't like how it's not exactly the adaptation from the series. Just saying, yo. And Jaya's like all green because you know that I get why they had to do that because it was Tim's favorite color. Again, I hate the stereotype. They just choose their favorite colors to be in their illustrations, even just for the sharing stories. But I don't know why they do that. And again, I'm going to talk about that in the next sharing stories in the next activity book. And then Nathan's all red, which he almost kind of looked like in the series, but no, it was still completely different. His glasses, they look different too. Yeah. So the story was basically so Jaya just wanted to try and fit in like a superhero, just like in the show. And then the other three just like, you know, they're just kind of not in agreement that he shouldn't be in it for now. And then after he fixes Captain Zoom's jetpack, Very Fabulous is one, and Super Spy's goggles. Basically, yeah. So it's a good thing that there were no changes. So yeah, that's what I really liked about this activity book, is that there weren't much of changes. The only changes were the costumes. I just didn't like how it wasn't visualized properly, just like in the show. It's like they didn't want to take it from the show universe. They did it based off the exact that exact sharing stories. But they had to start from scratch. They had to start from scratch using these costumes to make the costumes differently. That's it. But yeah, the illustrations look surprising. Okay, now let's go into activity book 2. Activity book 2, okay? Okay. Now let's talk about Wish Upon a Star next. Now, this is where I'm going to start talking about a lot of changes. A lot of changes. But first let's talk about, so we're going to talk about the next HI-5 activity book now, Wish Upon a Star. Again, we got the theme that together we got Wish Upon a Star. Again, 3 songlets each we get. Shooting Stars, which was from Making Music, album. The Sun is from The Holiday, and Starfish Star was from Wish Upon a Star. The same name, but from the CD. And again, Kathleen saying like the adaptation, just like how I talked in my last video. But yeah, very interesting. And then the sharing stories that we got was Magic School. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay. So, I don't even actually know that I should just talk about this next story, because there were a lot of changes that you guys wouldn't expect the perspective much. As you look into this exact point of view, it's very different. And I'll explain. I'll just show you the illustrations first. Okay. So let me just go here. Now, okay, this is what Activity Book 2 illustrations looked like. Crazy, isn't it? They gave them coloured hats instead of black hats, just like in the show. Now, I get that they try to make them look more colourful so that they can visualise it differently. But I don't like but at the same time, I just didn't like how it wasn't visualised from the show properly. Just saying. I don't know. But anyway, so all of Tim's characters' colours are meant to be like orange and green. Nathan's meant to be all blue and purple, and Charlie's meant to be all yellow and pink. Again, with the favourite colour stereotype, and with Tim and Nathan, all of that. I mean, it wasn't bad because they wore similar outfits here, just like in the show, from the illustrations. If that makes sense. I don't know. But yeah, Now, this is when we're going to start talking about the changes. Okay. Now this is where this is gonna get This is where things get interesting. This is where things are gonna get interesting now. Okay, where was the okay. Okay, it's not colored in again fully, but yeah. Credits to the person I got it from. Now, as you can see, their hats definitely look different, and I like how they still have the shapes on their top hats. But the outfits look different though. And you guys are just gonna be on here at me and be like, oh, that is definitely green slime. No, it's not. It's green jelly. I mean, that is a big change to add a little object. Like, you can't just change the subject into things. This is where I didn't know anything. Crazy. Like, how am I supposed to know that? Anyway, I'll get back to that soon. Let's talk about Nathan's character. Okay, the table kind of looks different in the book. And I know they gave them... Okay, so basically, with Nathan here, instead of making the stereotype just like his the clothes were trying to make a trick out in the show, they got him to just pull out his clothes with stripes and spotty socks. Like, I don't know. So that's what basically happened. Pretty interesting. But his trick at least was the same like in the show, but his clothes that they gave the illustration here is different. It's different. It's definitely very different. Now, Tim's character I'm gonna go on to. He had the change. He had most of the change in this book than even in Charlie's Nathan's characters. Instead of oh my gosh. Instead of making him invisible, they got him to be all blue, like an ink, just all blue color. His hat was blue, he touched his face blue, that's what basically happened. Wow. Because that didn't happen in the show. That didn't happen in the show. I don't know, really. Okay, this is what his illustration is meant to look like. But he is not meant to look like this. In the activity book, as I do own all of them, he's not meant to look like smiling and all of that. He's meant to be like worried. He's all blue. I don't know why they think of the stereotype instead of just make him to wear a tank top like in the series. I get that they wanted to make it more like, I get that they didn't want to make it too revealing or covering that, but I don't like the stereotype. It's very stereotypical. Instead, they got him to be all blue, which you can't even see the character properly. And for Wanda Wando's character, Kathleen's character, they got her to wear all purple instead of yellow. And they gave it to Talia. Why is that though? I do love how she looks here with the glasses and the hat and all of that. But like, I think, did they give her the purple color so that she can look like a better character? Or did they did that so that Kathleen's favorite color is produced? I think that was the second option. And I think that's why they didn't give her the yellow color, like the yellow cape, the dress, the hat, everything. Instead, they just gave her yellow stars, covered all of it. She's all purple. I know you guys will not believe me. But believe me, that's what happened. Like, that's a big change. That's a big change. It really is. That is a lot of change. Like, I don't even know. So yeah, I'm gonna just now talk about the story now. Basically, what happened, so basically, sorry guys. Okay, so basically what the sharing stories happened, there were a lot of changes. There really were. So Kelly was a narrator just like in the series. I'm very happy about that. The same adaptation they've gotten. But what I'm not happy about are the changes that were scrapped. Like, Charlie's character, like, as she produces her trick first, okay, first I'm going to talk about for Wonder Wando. So instead of giving her the yellow colour, they gave her the purple colour now. So that we would know about this. How come? Like, it's... When you look in the show, in the episode of that sharing stories, Magic School, in looking here, it's like you're only buying the activity book to look completely different. Like, I don't even know. Instead of giving her the exact yellow look, they just gave it all purple, so that Kathleen's favourite colour is produced. No, again, I hate the stereotype. Why is it always so stereotypical? Sometimes it's good that they can give them all different colours. See how they gave Nathan red and his favourite colour's blue? Why can't that be like that? Seriously? Well, I gotta know. But anyway, she did look good in the illustration, but I would have liked to see her all in yellow as an illustration, just like in the show. That's what I would have liked to see. Instead, that's not what I expected. Now, as they were getting ready to prepare for the magic show, Charlie's character performs her trick first. She was supposed to pull a rabbit out, right? Then instead, so they've changed all their objects basically. Well, apart from Nathan's character, not much, but still the clothes are different. But as we first got into Charlie's character, there was already a change right away. As we got... Okay, basically instead of giving her the stereotypical, like green slime that's meant to be all gooey and yucky, you know, they just gave her the green jelly. And now they changed that so that the kids can be more safer. Sometimes they can put it in their mouths. Jelly is like food. Why put the jelly instead of the slime? That's what I've noticed. And also watching it from the show is different to this specific activity book here. They just gave her a jelly, not a slime. That's a difference, like, that surprised me a lot. I really want to be like, I'm not surprised, but I am very shocked that they had these changes so they can be produced to kids. I don't even know. Wow. Okay, then as we go into Nathan's trick next, so he produces his trick next, as he shows, tries to pull out lots of handkerchiefs. Instead, there were just a singlet, shorts, and spotty socks. There weren't any stripes. They didn't give him the stripes just like in the show, I think. Really? Again, that's even a little bit of a change. That is to change the object. Even that bothers me. Even that baffles me of a change. Even if it's a little bit. It doesn't matter if you still show the handkerchiefs here. It's still a change. Now, as we got into Tim's character next, after Nathan, they just got him, instead of, okay, so instead of him being invisible, and instead of just, like, half invisible, they got him, listen, they got him to be all blue, all ink blue, from head to toe. From head to toe, all blue. Like, that's not creative. Because that didn't happen in this series. That didn't happen in the series. Instead, they gave him, like, they gave him all blue. He touched his face. I think that's what Kalish said in the book. That's completely inaccurate. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know whose idea was to change the story. I don't even know. Then after they did their show, just like in the series. But what I'm not happy about, once again, the costumes. To be honest, I do kind of prefer the costumes a bit better than the action hero, like superhero stereotypical, like stereotype ones. And I know I keep emphasizing that. But their costumes here in Magic School kind of look like the series, but again, it's a change. And the hats, they're not in black. Again, they just gave them colors. Sometimes not everything has to be in colors. And that's what they did in Funny Bunny, which I'm going to talk about now soon later on. They got them to basically wear jean overalls, which I'll talk about later. But now I'm talking about Wish from the Star. There were so many object changes. Now I don't want to see that again. Because that didn't happen in the show. Tim being all blue. Charlie was like, had a jelly instead of a slime. And Nathan just had different handkerchiefs. Even his thing was still a change. His trick. Magic trick was, even his magic trick was still a change. I don't know. So, I'm probably not happy with that even more than the action heroes, because at least the action heroes gave the same story. And believe me, I know all of you guys don't want to see the same thing all the time, and I know a lot of people keep saying that. But when you ruin everything for these activity books, they didn't give it the same adaptation. So that's why I want to see the same thing and compare them. But no, this didn't compare. Even the action heroes one year didn't compare because of their costumes a little bit. But no, it backfired instead. Well, okay. That was a lot to talk about, guys. I'm so sorry about all of that rambling. That was just a lot of change. And I'm gonna actually say this to you guys. That was actually the last activity book I've actually collected. And that was the only one that would change a lot. I don't know. Okay, now, let's talk about the next type of activity book. Are we there yet? So Kelly, again, she reads it just like in the series. Very happy about that. And so the songlets, and sharing stories we got was again HI-5 particular theme. Then we got Are We There Yet? Again, 3 songlets each. At the Bus Stop, African Safari, Going Walking, and the sharing stories that we got were Traveling Bugs. Obviously, it's like a traveling themed. Okay? Okay, now let's go to book 3. So, many fans here did not expect everything to look like this. Hang on a second, wait. I just want to see if they have any... Sorry about the battery, guys. Okay. I'll share the revisions last. Sorry about the battery, guys. Okay. So instead of them... Okay, here is a typo. I do love the backdrop so much and the visuals. That's probably an improvement. But, okay, again, there's another controversy. Again, nah, there's another controversy. Nah, they had to change something again from Kathleen and Nathan being insects. Okay, there's not much in black and white. What am I gonna do? Okay. Okay, so they're all here. So, I actually noticed, okay, so instead of them, like, I was expecting them to dress up like insects, but instead of them dressing up like insects, they actually got them to turn into insects here. Now, everyone else can say all they want on the Discord server. Everyone else can say on the Discord server that it's cursed. Why would you say that for a kid's book? This is a kid's activity book for gosh sakes. Really? I just don't know. Okay. I'm just going to show off some illustrations. But there's no point in talking about it, because it's so stereotypical. I get what they were trying to do, like they had to change the composition, the visuals, the vision. Like I see the vision, but it's so unnecessary. Like please. And I know that, again, I'm not happy that we worked on our own fan-made activity books because of this kind of issue that everyone's going to experience. But now I kind of like the vision. At the same time, I like the vision, but at the same time, I don't, because there's no adaptation into the series. Like, they didn't put it in that universe at all. So instead of them dressing up like insects once again, they turn them into insects, basically. So I think Charlie was still the ant, Tim was still the snail. But what they did do with Kathleen and Nathan's insect characters, bugs. So instead of like in the series of Kathleen to be like the beetle, now she is the spider. And now with Nathan being so they swapped each other's characters, basically. What was that about? So they swapped bugs from Kathleen to Nathan's insects. So it's not like in the series. In the series, Kathleen is a spider. No, she was a beetle. Now they've got Nathan to be the beetle here. And now Kathleen is the spider. Just so they can't do that. And look, I can prove that this is a typo. Look. They swapped him. Instead of Nathan to be the stereotypical spider, they got him to be... Now they swapped each other's bugs, basically. Nathan's supposed to be the spider and Kathleen's supposed to be the beetle. Now she's the spider and he's the beetle now. Tim is still the snail and Charlie's still the ant. But again, that doesn't mean it's still like the vision though. Look what they've done with Kathleen and Nathan. It's more overwhelming than the two of them. I don't even care how nicely they tried to decorate them. They're cute here. But at the same time, this is... I don't want to be rude, but I'm sorry. It's very chaotic. I don't want to... Okay, everyone else can say all they want, it's cursed. But please don't say that. Now, instead of me, okay, I'm going to change it. So I don't want to say the word cursed. I'm going to say chaotic. I wouldn't say cursed, I would say chaotic. That's it. But I'm so confused why they changed Kathleen Nathan from being Beetle and Spider. Like, so that Nathan can't look like the Spider here, just like in the series, and Kathleen from the other way around. They switched both of them. And look, now this is what they try to start doing. Instead they put her here. Nathan should be there in that illustration, but okay. The illustrations do look good detailing though. But again, Kathleen Nathan, they weren't in the exact bugs that they were supposed to be. And Charlie and Tim, they were in there right, like ant and snail. But again, I hate the stereotype and the vision. The vision just makes it different, like indifferent. Now, I don't know how they're all black and white. I got to see the revision. Okay, so there are no revisions. Okay, so I'm just going to get into talking about them now. I am so chaotic by this, in which Upon a Star was just like flip, and X-Series was just like flip as well. But what we got here, the insects here, crazy, isn't it? Okay, so they were trying to climb up the mountain, they were looking at the colourful clothesline. So everything in the story is how I exactly imagined to be here, just like in the show. I'm very happy about that. It went into the same direction as Action Heroes, but unlike Wish Upon a Star though, I still can't believe that happened. Like, I don't know. But the illustrations, I don't want to really be a party pooper here, but I think this was a huge disappointment than even the last Deck 2 books, I'm sorry, and Deck 2 book before. The reason why I wasn't happy with Action Heroes is just because of the costumes probably, Wish Upon a Star because of the objects and the visuals, but now here, Kathleen and Nathan, they swapped from being, I was about to say ant, no. Charlie was still the ant, Tim was still the snail. But Kathleen was supposed to be, instead of her being the beetle in the series, they got her to be the spider. And instead of Nathan being in the series to be a spider, they got him to be the beetle now. What was that about though? I'm so perplexed. Because, okay, I don't know whose idea was to change their characters so that they can't be the spotlight. So that Kathleen can't look like the beetle here. Why is that? And Nathan can't be the spider here. It's very stereotypical. And I know why. Because like she's a girl, he's a boy. That's a bit rude now, like. I think they just wanted to do what's fairness. But I didn't think that wasn't fair. That's so unfair because of the show now. Think about the show a little bit and then you can think about it, but I just didn't like how this was going. The only thing I'm happy about was the story was continuously the same like in the show. Unlike Wish Upon a Star, some object changes though. I don't know. I don't even know. But yeah, the illustrations were a lot. Everyone else keeps bringing up on the HI-5 House Discord server. Credits to the people that own the server from Discord. They keep saying it's cursed. Now, it's chaotic. You don't have to say it's cursed. They didn't make it so chaotic though. I will say that. Next time, they should know how the characters were interpreted. Kathleen and Nathan, when interpreted, they swapped them. They just ruined the opportunity for both of those characters. Just saying. Okay, this one was very interesting today, like, as well, talking about it. Now let's go into share everything with you next. Okay. So share everything with you is the next activity book. These were probably one of my favorite activity books, to be quite honest. I don't know, I just did. Okay guys, sorry. Now let's talk about the fourth activity book now. So, the songs that we got were HI-5 together, again the theme. We got share everything with you. Okay. Sorry about the battery, guys. Hang on a second. Okay. Sorry, my laptop was just low battery, guys. So anyway, so the songs that we got were HI-5 together, share everything with you, a great big hug, two is better than one, sign language. It fitted perfectly, the songlets. I don't know. It's nice. It's cute. Then the sharing stories that we got was Granny Fuzzle's birthday. I thought that this story was very cute. And again, the story was exactly interpreted like in the show. I mean, all the activity books did, but like... which one to start? The objects change. I'm sorry, I can never get over that. It was just so different, I don't know. Okay, let's talk about share everything with you. Okay? So, the story was exactly interpreted just like in the series, which is a good thing. But let's see the illustrations again. Let's see some more illustrations again, I mean. So, Granny Fuzzle's birthday. So, they do go into the circus school. Unfortunately, we can't see a lot in black and white. Don't know why though, but this is what they look like. What I actually really loved about, again, I really hate how they're just trying to visualize and visionize everything. I don't even know if that's a word. They got Callie to be the granny, and then two girls, and then the dad. And I think the dad's, Tim's meant to be all orange. His hair looks different here though. Pretty interesting. Because that guy is meant to be like the dad, and I think that's why they changed it. But yeah. Tim's character is meant to be dressed all in orange, I think. Callie's granny character is meant to be all in green. And then the girls, Charlie and Kathleen, they're meant to be like half a little bit of yellow and pink together, or purple, I don't know. Like a pinkish reddish colour, I don't know. So they surprise her into the room as they surprise her with a birthday, a very big birthday surprise card. And then they go to the circus school, just like in the series. Again, looks awesome though, doesn't it? Love it. I love how they're all happy, like, that they spend the time together. And what was her name again? Polly? I don't know. I forgot their names, but Polly is all I can think. So she still does the clown trick, I think, so they still do the same trick. So Charlie's character is meant to be on the stilts. Kathleen's character is meant to be like a clown. Then, okay, sorry, let me go to the dad next, and then I can go to her. Tim's character is meant to be doing a juggling trick. And then Kelly's character, Granny Fuzzle, she's meant to be trapezing. She's on the trapeze. That's awesome, actually. She looks good. I kind of really like the illustrations, to be quite honest, here. I don't know, I just really do. And I get the vision is a lot again, I know, just like all the rest of these activity books. But you know what? It's like that. And that's okay. Because I love them. Now I'm just going to talk about the story. So, I liked how this, once again, I know I keep emphasizing that. I know I keep emphasizing and saying it. But they do go into, okay, so everyone comes into the room when Granny Fuzzle reads a book, when they surprise her with a birthday card again. Then they go to the circus school and they all do their own tricks all by themselves on their own. And they had fun. So it's pretty good. Then they performed a really good circus school show. Very happy about that. But I feel like, again, the vision, they always try to visionize things. That's where I'm kind of, again, getting a bit confused. But you know what? This was probably one of my favorite Hi-5 activity books. And Action Heroes kind of nearly got me, but the costuming was different. And actually, you know what? The costuming, again, it's a stereotype. So instead of Tim's character to wear the suit, they just got him any other orange outfit they could put on him. And instead of Granny to be like in grandma clothes, I get that they didn't want to make it so stereotypical, but they just gave them coloured clothes to wear. So Kelly was dressed all green and Tim was all orange in here, basically. And then the two girls that we got were in, I don't know, I forgot what colours they were in. They were like in half a little bit of yellowish and purplish and pink colours, violet colours or whatever. Yeah. To get that, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Okay. So, yes, I don't know, there's not much to say in this activity book. I just think that they should have done so much better with the costumes. So instead of for Tim to wear the suit like a dad, you know, they just got him any other orange outfit. Instead of Kelly, Granny Fuzzle, okay. Instead of her trying to get her to wear a grandma outfit, they just got her to wear any other green outfit, and then the two girls just gave them also any other outfits. Not the polka dot clothes or whatever. But okay, that's fine. I just want to re-look at the illustrations so I can make sure what they really look like again. Yeah, I'm actually so glad that there weren't much changes. And I'm glad. I really am. So am. This was probably my favorite Hi-5 activity book in the series, actually. And I haven't even got into the last two yet. I'm sorry for being judged. I'm sorry for being, like, not judgmental. So sorry for judging right away, but that's how I feel. Okay, now let's go into the next Hi-5 activity book. Let's pretend. So, we got Hi-5 together. We got the songs of the weeks, which they had to name this activity book differently of Let's Pretend. Pretending Day was the concept. Then What Shall I Be? Pirate Teddies. Gallant Prince of Knights. And then sharing stories that we got was Jojo the Genie, surprisingly. Now, this is where, again, I'm not going to like this change. And I'll tell you why. Because instead of Nathan, no, not Nathan, sorry, that's going to be in the next activity book. That's in the next activity book. Instead of Charlie to read in this activity book, just like in the sharing stories in the series, they swapped Kathleen's character for her to Charlie to be the dog. No, the cat, sorry. Instead of Kathleen to be the cat, they swapped again. Why are they always getting Kathleen to swap her roles? First, it was in Traveling Bugs of her instead of being the spider. I mean, the beetle, now she's a spider. Why they always get this to be the victim? I don't even know. Now she's the one that's the narrator. So that Charlie can't be the narrator. Because she, like, what was the issue? There wasn't an issue in Action Heroes. She did good. But it's not the only one Kathleen to read, and I get why they put Kathleen to read it in it instead of Charlie. Now she's the character of the cat here. And I'll show you soon. Crazy. Like, because that didn't happen in the show. Charlie, she read the whole story. Kathleen, she was the cat. They just swapped them. And I think I know why. Because Kathleen hasn't got to read any of the activity books. But now that just makes things worse. Because now Tim was the only original Hi-5 member that didn't get to read activity books. And I know everyone can be like, oh, he did Penny the Clown or the Dazzler Ducks. But it's not very that interactive, just like the activity books. So that's why I'm like, oh. Like, Tim should have done at least one activity book. I think that they should have got at least up to 7 activity books. Then I would be okay with it, at least for Kathleen to be here and in the next one. But instead, they just cut him off. Now Tim is the only one not to read an activity book now. But I think now I started to think of something else. And I think I know why Tim didn't get to read one of the activity books. And I don't want to share the information again and talk about it here. But I think it had something to do again with him leaving Hi-5 and all of that. And his motorbike accident. Maybe that's why that they couldn't get him. But he could have still worked from home. And to do at least one activity book. Like, they can give him a script and then just try to act out the characters and just like everybody else. Now Tim's the only one didn't get to do anything now. And I'm surprised that they couldn't even get at least even Sun to be here. Like, for one of the activity books. Because Kathleen, I think she was pregnant at that this time. I don't know. Well, anyway, guys, okay, I'm going to talk about the 5th activity book now. So, now let's talk about activity book 5, let's pretend. Again, it looks very different. It does. I'm going to go to the one that's got colors in it. Revisions. Okay. So Nathan's meant to be like all blue. He didn't look like that in the series. He was just wearing a genie vest and that's it. Again, it's not like in the series. Instead of him to look like everything from the series, they got Nathan to look like some other stereotypical genie. They just made it... Again, they tried changing things just like Wish Upon a Star. Are you joking me right now? But I don't know. They gave him a hat. They gave him gloves. They gave him... Like, there's so much going on with Nathan's costume. In the series, it wasn't interpreted like this. His pants. And his shoes. There's a lot going on. And I would have liked for him to wear at least one more different colour. It's a bit boring how he's just all in blue also. That's what kind of also puts it down for me. But okay. Now, what they did do here, Kelly's just still the dog, just like in the series. Had the dog Flash. I think that's the dog's name, Flash. And I can't believe they got Charlie to be the cat. That's a change. They got her to be the cat instead of Kathleen to be the cat, just like in the series. Now the adaptation is going to look different now. Now you don't get the series adaptation now. And Kathleen reads it. And I get why they would get her to be in it. But now Tim is the only one that didn't get to do at least one of the activity books. He could have done at least one activity book. But no. Like, I'm sorry like that, but, you know, I don't know. Sorry, guys. It's just like that. I just really hate changes instantly. Like, I don't know. Okay, I don't think Charlie's just meant to look like here. I don't know why this is here, but okay. Okay. Yeah, so they got her to look like the dog and her to look like the cat, basically. Crazy, isn't it? And then Tim's character is an elephant. And again, I always see the vision. Like, I don't know. This is going. And again, they gave him all green so that his favorite color is green. Again, the stereotype again. And Charlie's just all pink. They never give Callie to wear red though, but they're gonna think like, oh, she's gonna be like a red dog, which is weird. Why not? And I think I know why they gave Nathan to be wearing all blue, because this is his favorite color. But why didn't they do that in Action Heroes? They just gave him all red. It's always just one simple color. That's it, one solid color. They never give him to wear at least 2 different colors. Not just one color. Oh my goodness, boys and girls. Like, there were just so many changes to this book as well. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Like, that's a lot. Anyway, the story was kind of exactly the same. Also, interpreted in from the series, the show, whatever. So they wish for more friends to play. So only Jojo the genie had Flash the dog. Then, like, he wishes Flash to have another friend. Like, Flash wants to have another friend, as she wishes to have another friend. So, so Flash and the cat came, and the elephant came later. It was cute. But, again, it was changed and visualized just like, I would say, not like the Wish Upon a Star activity book. Well, no, it is like the Wish Upon a Star activity book because they gave him, again, just always their like, they always give them the same of their favorite colors, basically. But in Are We There Yet, they took the vision from that, thanks to that activity book as well. Crazy, right? Okay. So yeah, overall, I still feel like Share Everything With You was kind of one of my favorite activity books because, again, this one was a change. Let's Pretend was a change. Wish Upon a Star was a change. Are We There even was a change. And Action Heroes a little bit. Share Everything With You kind of got me. I don't know. It just did. Now let's talk about the last HI-5 activity book now, and we're almost up to 1 hour in this video. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, now let's go in. Sorry, let me go to the picture first. Ooh. Now let's go into Funny Bunny, activity book 6. So again, they swapped, just like in the Let's Pretend in the just last HI-5 activity book I've talked about now. They again swapped Kathleen to read it instead of Nathan to read the Funny Bunny, like in the show. They got her to be in it now. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, so we got HI-5 together again. LOVE Love, which I'm very happy that they stuck this song from series 1 because it was one of all the popular HI-5 songs of all time, LOVE Love, and I'm very happy about that they've stuck to here, and it kind of matches the Funny Bunny concept. I'm very happy about that. Then after Love, we got 3 songlets again. We got Rabbit Dream, Boot Scooting Forever, I'm a Cow. So they kind of put some animal themes here and Boot Scooting. I get what they were trying to do, but yeah, some songlets had to be fitted in. And then the same name as this activity book, the sharing stories that we got was Funny Bunny. And it sounds like a very cute story, but again, they had to change the vision for Tim's character. So again, he was the funny bunny, just like in the series, basically. Now, I'm very happy that they kind of got them to, for all of them to wear overall and jeans, like concept. I kind of like the visual, and I know Tim's meant to be like the bunny. That's what kind of puts it down for me a little bit. But you know what? I'm going to say this was probably one of my favorite HI-5 activity books, actually. I think Funny Bunny was one of the best ones. I'd say probably this one and Share Everything With You. I think Share Everything With You was just, I don't know. It felt like it was light-hearted and heartwarming and all that. Funny Bunny was too. It was lovable, to say the least. I mean, at least I can say it's lovable here. That's what I love. But yeah, Tim's the funny bunny, and then you get 3 kids. I love the clothes that they're wearing. Again, it's just casual clothes that they wear. I forgot what their names were, but Kelly's character, she's meant to be like all yellow and green, I think. Nathan's meant to be like, again, all bluish, purplish, and Charlie's meant to be like the overalls in yellow, like shirt, I think, and red hearts. Cute. So I'm just gonna talk about the illustrations of the story. It still looks different. I'm not gonna say it's just the same. So Tim the Funny Bunny here, they got him to get him to wear all 3 hats. So instead of just holding all of the 3 hats, they just shoved all the 3 hats on him here, on top of his bunny little head. So, okay, I'm gonna just talk about the story now. Sorry, let me go on to the picture. So basically what happened is the Funny Bunny offers 3 hats to the 3 kids. I forgot what their names were, sorry about that. So she wishes for like a rose. So instead of a rose, it's a rhyme. I get it's a rhyme. It's a mistake rhyme here. Basically, the Funny Bunny here just gave all of us in these sharing stories, and I know again, just like in the series, I'm happy about it, but they just typically made mistakes of like mishaps and rhymes and stuff, like how they wanted to wish for, wish from the Funny Bunny from wearing the hats. So one of them, she wishes for like a rose, but instead of a rose, she gets a clown, a big red clown nose. That's pretty interesting. Then she looks like, yeah. Yeah. Then another girl comes in. One of her friends again. So instead of her getting a rubber duck, she has a toy truck under her hat. So instead of a duck, it's a truck. That's funny though, but yeah. And Nathan instead, I just didn't like where this come from. I think this was probably the only change that got me. Yeah, I think it did. So in here, I just forgot what happened in the series, but in here, instead of for the fly to go away in the air, a boy coming. So instead of for the fly to go away, the funny bunny actually got the boy to fly instead for the fly to go away. Oh my god. Yeah, so they got him to fly and yell. And then they all say goodbye. They're wearing their bells under their shoes. They're wearing their bells. Like, I'm very happy. So it's cute. It's very, very cute. So they wear their bells. Ringy bells they wear under their shoes. Love it. So yeah. This is probably... I don't know if this now would probably be my favorite or my second favorite hyperactivity book. Sharing with you kind of got me first. I don't know. And now Funny Bunny. The other 4 activity books were a change. They were a change. But Funny Bunny also didn't do too bad. Yeah. So the story, just like how it happened, the Funny Bunny offers 3 hats to the 3 kids. So instead of a rose, it's a note. One of them wishes for like a rose. It's instead of that, it's a nose. Then a duck to a truck. And then instead of one for the fly to go away, he's actually flying in the air. You know? But this was also such a touching kid story. Like, just like in series 4. I liked how they got the Shangsters away from that series. From that specific season. Very happy about that. Well, boys and girls, just like how the activity books, it's time to say goodbye. So, let me know what you think about my perspectives of all of these activity books. Yes. Oh my god. So, yeah, there was just a lot. So, if I was to rank all of the activity books, I really don't want to do this, but I just feel like it's better. I think, I don't know, I really don't know. A lot of people really liked the Are We There Yet? But I think there were so many changes to Are We There Yet? And Wish Upon the Star. Probably is 5th place. 4th place I would say probably Then Let's Pretend. Then I would say Action Heroes. Then Funny Bunny. Then I would say Share Everything With You. Share Everything With You didn't change anything for me. That was the reason why I liked it. And now Funny Bunny too. I wish I would have said the same thing for Action Heroes, Wish Upon the Star, With There, and Let's Pretend. But instead they had to change so many things. I just don't know. That was a lot. Well, boys and girls, I really hope that you actually enjoy this video. I am going to be making another video like this. And I know the microphone's annoying, but yeah, I just, you know, you can hear me clearly now as well. So yeah, in my next, I'm going to be making another hyperactivity book video, but it's going to be the fan-made ones. And I wonder how I am going to react to the next hyperactivity books. It's pretty exciting, but I get why they're trying to do that because of the vision. Why? And the members that are going to only be in it, though, Jeffrey is going to be the only male to be in it, just like Nathan was the only male, so Jeffrey is going to be in it. So the narrators that they're going to be are Jeffrey, Peyton, Keely, and Lindsay. So Jeffrey and Keely got 3 activity books, and Peyton and Lindsay got 2 activity books. So there's 10 activity books out now, and it's 20 years, boys and girls. Crazy. So that's why we got more hyperactivity books back. So watch the fan maids right now, and I'll be talking about them more again soon. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So I'll show you the covers. Okay. There are going to be 10. It's pretty big number for a lot of activity books. But I don't know if I should show you a sneak peek of 6 illustrations that are done. And I was shocked. But it had changes. And I really don't want to be rude, but credits and by the talented person from Discord. What was his name? Suzu. He is an amazing type of commissioner. Like, he's one of the best type of artists that I've actually commissioned with. It's amazing. Like, it's a dream. It's like working with HI-5 and all of that. Crazy, right? So that is what's gonna look like. Here's another one. Wow. And I see the vision. It really actually shocked me. Wow. Okay. That's pretty crazy. Wow. Okay. Okay, so I'm aware I've got a list here to read. So then the 10 hyperactivity books that we are getting, so in activity book 1, we are getting, okay, so in activity book 1, it's Have Some Fun, Dream On, 5 Senses, Base to Outer Space, I think, yeah, and then we got Rainbow Around the World, Puppet Show, City and Country, Animal Play, what was the, Some Kind of Wonderful, and Cheerful Christmas. Unfortunately, the original Hyperactivity book series never got to do a Christmas theme, but however, Funny Bunny is an Easter theme, so I'll give it that. But now we made our own Christmas theme. Crazy, right? Well, boys and girls, I'm going to make another video for our own activity books for another day. But right now, at least I had to show you some sneak peeks. Bye, guys. Ciao. Peace. Bye, guys. Bye.